Yo, what is up guys and welcome to InfernoKun, back with another video talking about The Walking Dead. Going into the AMA questions once again, these are from Ian Howe, so pretty much these are more of the business, logistical questions like a sequel and various things like that, you know. Next video will be more of the story details for episodes 3 and interesting stuff, things like that. So let's go ahead and get into this because it might be a long video. I'm not sure, but let's go ahead and jump into the little questions here. Let's go ahead and start with this one. Okay, so currently we have one that says pretty much that, you know, there were more characters that were going to be, you know, introduced in here, which could possibly still be with episodes 3 and 4, but season 4 went through multiple drafts and several characters probably were cut. Okay, that could be why we saw the concept art of different characters that we didn't really see yet, but that could be it. I'm not sure, but maybe it was a great choice to go ahead and cut them out. You know, Clementine is definitely progressing really great at the moment, and I really do like it being focused on Clem and what she's going through and things like that. It's very interesting. Next question we have that he answered is pretty much a guy asking about multiple endings and various things that could affect AJ and different choices that we made, and he said yes, your choices all along in how you encourage AJ, who you romance, how you treat your friends, that all adds up in the final episode. So that's definitely really great. I love seeing branches. We'll speak more about that in tomorrow's video, but branches are very great, and I want to see choices matter and different things play out depending on if you romance Violet, if you treated Ruby kind of mean, various things like that. Hopefully it does all play out very great. I'm looking forward to this, and I'm very excited to see more in episode 3. So next one, pretty much we have a question about the choice status, because remember with episode 2, when Telltale shut down, their servers also went down, so the choice status weren't really up for episode 2, so we had no percentages at all, and he said that he'd like to go ahead and get it back up ASAP, which is, you know, not really up to him. It's up to the programmers who program the stuff to go ahead and fix that. So it could possibly maybe come back. There'll be more about that later. Anyways, which is here, you know, he said he hopes so, and then, you know, with episode 3 you'll have the choice statistics as well, and then if possible episode 2 will also be there. So that's definitely really good. Hopefully that does come back, because it really is awesome seeing the community and how they actually chose different things. That's definitely really good. Moving on, so one that I'm definitely also concerned about, pretty much we have him asking about, you know, what impacts could happen with the whole team being broken up and brought back, with some people not being able to because of new jobs and various things like that. So pretty much lost elements, rigid animations, which is definitely a huge concern to me, because Telltale has some great animations. Like, they had some really great handcrafted animations that weren't mocap, which is definitely really great and really fit the game quite well. Okay, Telltale has some really good animations, and that is a really big concern to me. So Ian goes ahead and says that we don't really plan to change anything with how the game is going to be completed, and for the most part he goes ahead and says that, you know, of course the release dates are delayed because they lost a month of production, so there isn't a way to go ahead and make that up realistically. So, you know, they're taking their time and wanting to honor the series with episodes 3 and 4 being in a good shape. So that's definitely good. He didn't really answer the questions about the rigid animation, to be honest, but that's up to them hiring some great talented animators, so hopefully that is the case. Moving on, or the ones that were at Telltale. Anyways, moving on, a question that's very interesting. Okay, most of you are probably looking forward to this one, asking some questions about extra content / DLC, future games, and of course Clementine's fate after the final season, you know, like in terms of just comic books and things like that, just expanding upon Clementine. You know, we'll see whenever episode 4 comes out, but we'll see about that. But Ian goes ahead and says to the first question about the extra content / DLC, he says that nothing right now is currently planned and that they have not spent any time discussing that matter. Their focus, their priority is on completing the final season right now. That's episodes 3 and 4. After that, once they feel they are in good shape, they'll discuss these ideas and suggestions, okay? And to be honest, that's definitely really interesting, but to play devil's advocate here, that would require them to contract these employees beyond what they were scheduled to do and hiring them possibly permanently to develop, well, not permanently, just until the DLC is developed and things like that. So that requires that, and if they want to go ahead and do, you know, DLC, that will take, you know, extra months. So maybe considering a permanent position. And then they also have to make profit, okay? The final season has to profit, and you know, judging by what happened to Telltale, their games weren't profiting, so I'm not entirely sure how the final season is going to sell after 3 and 4. I really do hope that 3 and 4 blows up the season pass and it sells millions of copies. I hope so. Then that would definitely boost up the likelihood of getting DLC and things like that, but as of right now, we have to wait and see. And then pretty much, you know, after the end of the final season, he asked for future games in the Walking Dead universe. And then Ian Howe says yes. Right now there's nothing in development, but they're always talking about how they can go ahead and tell interesting stories. And that right there, no surprise, okay? Skybound is definitely looking into doing more Walking Dead games. They have, you know, the game with Overkill's The Walking Dead coming out. They just made this, you know, Skybound game studio this year, so it's no surprise they want to go ahead and expand the Walking Dead game universe, pretty much. But it's no surprise. I mean, it could be interactive storytelling games, or it could be more gameplay storytelling games. So we'll see about how they go ahead and tackle this particular issue. But hopefully it will be in a great way, and you know, it will be different without Telltale, but hopefully they can go ahead and do it. And of course, question number 3 is about, you know, Clementine, and he says that, you know, Clementine's awesome and stuff, but if they don't want to develop her character too much, they should probably leave her alone, because if you go ahead and mess up a character, or if you go ahead and use a character too much, they might get messed up. And if Clementine's story ends in a great way in the final season, don't touch her, but we'll see about that. Another question about the DLC, not currently planned, but he's asking, hey, should we do it? Maybe? And what would you like to see? Okay, so that's pretty interesting. Hopefully it is a good DLC, like related to at least, you know, the final season. Everyone's saying a Kenny DLC. I really don't want that, to be honest. I'm sorry, I'm probably the only one, but I don't think that's very relevant as of right now, to be honest. I'd like to see something more relevant to Clementine's story at the moment, but who knows, we'll see. Maybe we'll get a whole Kenny's Hat DLC or something. Yeah, okay. Anyways, moving on. Question regarding The Wolf Among Us, okay? So, for the most part, this guy asks if Skybound have any tentative plans or goals to continue storytelling games, like purchasing the rights to The Wolf Among Us Season 2, the property owned by DC's little subsidiary, Vertigo Comics, okay? So Ian goes ahead and says, regarding Wolf Among Us 2, I think it's unlikely as there are rights associated with the game, which adds more layers of complexity, which is definitely true, okay? So DC owns the property to Wolf Among Us. They have a little small comic brand called Vertigo Comics, which, you know, handles the rights for Wolf Among Us, or, you know, the Fables universe. So they'd have to go to DC, be like, hey DC, can I make this game? And, you know, it's kind of a long process because, you know, negotiations and whether it will turn a profit, things like that. But it's very complicated, you know. I'm not saying they have a rival, but Skybound already works with Image Comics, I believe. They publish and distribute, you know, the Walking Dead comics, so it's kind of like competing comic brands. So I'm not sure if DC will let, you know, Skybound go ahead and make a game based upon Wolf Among Us. Maybe DC might look at another studio, or maybe they'll be like, hey Skybound, you can do it if you want, but it's very complex. I don't think it's very likely, but you know, who knows, right? He does say never in one of his posts. So we have another one pretty much talking about a Kickstarter and possible merchandise. So the guy asked for merchandise and things to help fund the game, and then he says we haven't considered that road, maybe we should do a Kickstarter. So that's definitely interesting. I am kind of wondering, what is Skybound's current financial state? I think they're doing very well, okay? They do get royalties for the property of The Walking Dead from AMC, and I'm sure AMC's The Walking Dead is making bank, so they must be getting a bunch of money from using that property. They also do things like, you know, comics. They sell comics, or, you know, they work on the Walking Dead comics. Those are sold. That makes profit. And they do have other comic series, I believe. But outside of that, I'm not entirely sure where Skybound's money comes from. Possibly investors too. I don't know. I'm not the financial dude over at Skybound. So maybe a Kickstarter could possibly happen. I don't think so. Maybe they will. Maybe they already have the financial means to go ahead and pay the people and produce the game, but we'll see about that. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest, so look out for a Kickstarter. Probably not. But anyways, he also says that he would personally love to do some cool merchandise, and that he's looking into the options and has a bunch of ideas, which is very awesome. I would definitely love to see an official Clementine hat. That's what I want the most. But anyways, moving on, a question for all my people in different languages, okay? This person asked if the next 2 episodes will be dubbed in other languages, and pretty much to summarize, he says that they are going to continue to localize for those languages. However, they might not be able to. Maybe there is a slight chance they may not be able to due to time and resources, you know, hiring people who have, you know, the language on set to go ahead and translate various things like that, but they will try to avoid not supporting the languages. So it may or may not have this. Of course, they have to go ahead and hire back the voice actors for all the languages and stuff. That's a bunch of money, so it comes down to just finances and time and resources. So we'll see about that. I'm not sure, but you know, take with that as you must. Here's a cool one. Okay, so some people were asking about, oh, this concept art has season 4 in the actual, you know, picture. What's going on there? Are they confirming another season? Oh my god. No, it wasn't. Okay, so this person asked that question. He asked, did Skybound change the name to make room for another season, or is it an old working title? And then Ian says, I don't think that was anything deliberate or intentional that we did in order to create mystery. Okay, so it wasn't deliberate, you know. They don't have any concept artists in yet to go ahead and change the stuff. Obviously, they did remove the Telltale series from the logo because they have bought the rights for the game, so it's not really Telltale's game anymore, to be honest. It's Skybound's game, so it would make sense to go ahead and remove the Telltale series from it. So they bought the rights, they removed the Telltale series from the logo, and it makes sense to that point. But the concept art was probably before it was called the final season and was called season 4, so that's probably that, okay? And then as far as the, you know, other games, he says, so I think it's a good bet that you'll see other games from us in the future that aim to tell great stories, which is kind of like definitely true because Skybound Games is going to create games in the future. It makes sense. They're starting off small right now. They're publishing games, which of course will bring in revenue to go ahead and one day create games themselves. That will be very, very great. I would love to see what they have in store for their future games, okay? Moving on, we'll try to get through this as fast as possible. Here's some stuff about, here we have one asking for merged digital products like themes and soundtracks. That would definitely be really great. Even a figure, that would definitely be really cool. Like a PS4 theme and then a Clem figure, things like that. And of course, he says that he wants to go ahead and look into that to honor Clem's story with some physical merchandise. That would definitely be awesome. I'd be into that. So here are some, you know, concerns that people have regarding Telltale's, you know, what happened with the company regarding toxic environment, salaries, various things like that. This person was asking for just, you know, details about the work environment present under Skybound. So Ian goes ahead and says that he does not think that what Telltale did was sustainable as a company, okay? And he does not want the team to work that much at all, and he doesn't believe that at all. So they are going to, of course, treat the company very, very greatly, and it seems like, you know, the developers won't have to move to LA, which is where Skybound is located, to go ahead and work on the game. That would definitely be really bad, because if you had to move to LA or commute to LA just to go ahead and work, that would be a lot of time lost in terms of just travel and, you know, just gas and all that kind of stuff. It would be terrible. So they are looking to do something in San Rafael in San Rafael or Raphael? I don't know. San Rafael to go ahead and, you know, get a building, an office space to go ahead and set up and work on the game. That'll be pretty awesome. So definitely that would be the best option as of right now. I'm trying to get to these as fast as possible because these are getting, you know, very, very long. Okay. One question was about, you know, the physical version, and they are doing a physical version. One question about Funko Pops, which is definitely something that I really want. I would definitely love a Clementine, a Violet, an AJ, Lewis. Those would definitely be awesome. I would definitely love them. And he said, you know, he'll give them a call, but he actually did email them earlier, so hopefully they do produce a Clementine season 4 Pop, Violet as well, Lewis, AJ, all of them. That would definitely be really awesome. So questions about the tech. Graphics will still be the same. They will keep the same engine, same tools. So that's definitely, of course. And the game will be the same as of right now. As far as this goes, the team's first day. As you guys know, the team is not back in yet. They are still settling some of the logistical stuff. So the team isn't back in the studio, and he said they'll be back in production as soon as possible. Obviously, there are a bunch of factors going on as of right now, so, you know, they want to go ahead and ensure that people are taken care of and they're doing things right, okay? That's definitely really great to hear. Moving on, a question from me that I asked, kind of like asking about, will any content that was planned for the game be scrapped to, you know, ensure that episode 3 and 4 can come out in the first place? Because I was wondering, will episodes be shorter? Will they not have new gameplay innovations like the whole Walker fire combat thing and the constellations in the sky little gameplay thing? Those are small things, but they were very nice. So I was wondering if those would be sacrificed, and even the hubs. And he says that the current plan is to continue as close to the original development plan as possible. So that's definitely kind of vague, but it's definitely great that they can kind of like go ahead and continue development as usual, you know, as per normal. But of course we have some more small stuff about people asking for Game of Thrones and Wolf Among Us, things like that. But, you know, those aren't their priority right now. Their priority is The Walking Dead. So anyways, that's pretty much it as of right now. Pretty long video, I'm sorry. Tried to go ahead and go through it as fast as I could, but there were a bunch of questions that were pretty awesome that I want to go ahead and cover in this video. Thank you all for watching this specific video. Tomorrow, or I'm not sure when, kind of like a little bit late on this, but for the most part, I'll be going over the questions that were answered by the director of the season, Kent Muddle. He gives out some various details about episode 3 that aren't spoilery at all, just, you know, plot details that he is giving in terms of just branching choices and things like that that we hope to expect for episode 3. That is definitely really, really interesting, and I can't wait to go ahead and talk about those because they are very, very cool. So anyways, thank you all for watching this video. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more awesome Walking Dead content on the channel. I'm InfernoKun, and I will catch you guys next time on The Walking Dead.